I'm Jim Longworth, and welcome to another edition of Triad Today. Coming up later on, our infamous roundtable gets together. We'll see what controversies they get into. But between now and then, some great guests and important information coming your way. What are we going to talk about? Well, things like community service, and leadership, and prosperity, and much more. But first, let's start out talking about memory care. What is memory care, and how is it administered? We have an expert with us who was good enough to drive down from Chapel Hill to be with us today. Next to me, Julie Farmer, Executive Director of Chatham Ridge Assisted Living. That's part of the Ridge Care community that is all over the place. And we just thank you for coming down today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start out now. How do I know if a loved one is experiencing signs and symptoms of cognitive decline, or what a lot of people would say memory decline, or what? How do we know? What are we looking for?
The decline is often more than just forgetfulness. What one would notice in someone that is a new onset of Alzheimer's or dementia, you may notice a change in their hygiene, dressing inappropriately for the weather, becoming lost while driving to a place that they are very, very familiar with. It is so much more than just simple forgetfulness.
Now, I know this is going to sound like a stupid question, but very quickly, what is memory care?
Memory care is a separate set in assisted living where it is completely dedicated to those who are having memory issues.
Now, how are you meeting the needs of those people? Because, I mean, people know about, not just with Ridge Care and other organizations, but, the facilities where there's assisted living, and they think, well, it's all one thing, but memory care is very special. How are you meeting those needs?
Memory care is very special within the assisted living communities. It is a distinct set of an area in the community that is locked to prevent someone from wandering off.
Right.
The ratios, staff to resident, are very high in comparison to those who are in the original assisted living part. They have a dedicated activity coordinator within the Ridge Care communities in a locked, secured Alzheimer's neighborhood.
Right, and it's a very safe and secure atmosphere. And what kind of program? Give me an example of a program or service or something that's offered within a memory care facility.
Within a memory care, you have all levels: early stages, medium, and advanced stages of Alzheimer's. So we try to accommodate the needs of the individuals, not only with an increased staff to resident ratio, but we also cater our activity programs to meet the needs of these individuals. For instance, some of the higher functioning Alzheimer's may have multiple trips out of the unit per day to socialize with the individuals on the AL side, dining with them, participating in activities because they are at a higher level.
Right.
Whereas we would have those who are late stage Alzheimer's in the unit with the dedicated activity program, doing things that interest them specifically.
All right, now let's suppose that I have an elderly parent who's been in assisted living, and now he or she needs memory care. Do you help with that transition? I mean, how does that transition take place?
Absolutely, we would help. We do notice with our licensed nurses in our communities throughout the Ridge Care organization that someone is progressing in their memory process. So we would start to speak to the families. We would tour them in the unit. We would encourage them to look at all of the literature that's out there, and we would encourage them to look at our programs because we would start to progress in that direction.
Right, then you can make an easy transition, say at places like Chatham Ridge and other Ridge Care facilities, and say we'll make it a smooth transition. It'll be easy and
absolutely
enough stress as it is with families, and I just appreciate what you're doing. Up on screen, more information about memory care and other Ridge Care communities, visit ridgecare.com, or you can call a local number here in the Triad, 336-993-7555, 993-7555. Julie Farmer, thanks for coming down and being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thanks for what you do.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be right back. On Triad Today, I always like it when one of the good folks from Alamance Community College can stop by and let us know what's going on there. We have sort of a different kind of discussion I want to have here. Not necessarily about coursework and things and opportunities, but other kinds of opportunities for all of us to help. Let's talk about it right now. My guest is Carolyn Rhodes. She's Vice President of Institutional Advancement at Alamance Community College. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
A lot of folks might assume that since you're a community college that the state monies cover everything. You know, taxpayer money, we're covered. You don't need any other monies. But you're heavily involved in fundraising. You're involved in alumni relations. You're involved in donor outreach. So my big question, I know it sounds like a stupid question, but why?
Why? Because workforce development and providing educational opportunities for the adults of our state is increasingly important to make make sure that our businesses have the trained workforce that they need. We need to be involved in fundraising because it's important to ensure that students have access to the education and then also are able to enjoy high quality educational facilities.
Which they can't do if there's not some private money, infusion of private money and through your efforts, right?
Exactly.
How many students, and I'll put you on the spot, you don't have to give me an exact number, but how many students do you think you assist through your foundation, and what kind of endowment are we talking about?
So the ACC Foundation has an endowment of about $12 million. And through that, we are able to, and the generosity of many individuals and businesses in Alamance County, help about 900 students a year access an education.
Right. And can they, again, we didn't rehearse this or anything, but if a business or individual wants to give to the foundation, we'll give some information on screen later, but basically speaking, I mean, this is is it tax deductible to be able to give to the foundation?
Yes, the foundation is a 501c3 organization, and it is a tax deductible donation, and we would love to work with any individuals interested in supporting our students.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I got that in, to make sure I was clear on that. Now, a lot of your colleagues have come on this show before. They've talked about how Alamance Community College serves a very unique student demographic. So my question to you is, remind me of that demographic, why it's unique, and why it makes the foundation so vital to them.
Well, of course, we have traditional direct from high school students that come, and that is definitely about a quarter of our population, but we serve many older students who come back mid-career to retrain. They've found that their opportunities for advancement are limited, they want to get some more skills, or it's time for a career change. As we know, the economy and business and workforce is ever changing, and they need to keep up, and we're here for them.
Sure. Now, this segment, if my notes are correct, is going to air. Of course, this weekend is May 11th and 12th, I think. That brings me to the final question, because I understand the little bird told me that you have a big celebration or some big event coming up just around the corner. What is that about?
We have our annual Celebration of Excellence, which will take place May 23rd. This is an event where we name each year, a distinguished alum of the college to highlight the success our alumni have had as they go out into the workforce and into our community. We also recognize the Faculty and Staff Member of the Year and Individual Students of Excellence.
And again, give me the date again. It's May?
May 23rd.
And give me the title again of the celebration?
Celebration of Excellence.
Celebration of Excellence there on campus. Now, all right, for more information, I want to put something on screen here. For more information on how you can support the Alamance Community College Foundation, you can visit this website. ACC stands for Alamance Community College, accfoundation.com. I'll say it again. accfoundation.com. They will welcome your donation, tax deductible as it is. And for general information, you can always visit alamancecc.edu, alamancecc.edu. And Carolyn, thanks for doing the work you're doing to raise money and raise awareness and make sure that the facilities and the programs and things that are there for the students. I know it means a lot to you.
Well, it is a wonderful, community colleges have a wonderful mission, and we are so lucky to serve the state in this way.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Carolyn.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back after this. Back now on Triad Today. Welcome to what I call the bearded part of our show. Next to me are two men with beards, which, well, one of them it has something to do with a very special event. We'll get to that in a second. But on my immediate right, our good buddy Chris Roberts, President and CEO of Crumley Roberts Attorneys at Law, who's been here many times before, does a great job in the community. And a new visitor to the program, Jimmy Britton, is also an attorney and shareholder with Crumley Roberts. And we'll get to Jimmy's beard in just a second. But welcome to the program, guys.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Chris, let's first start out with something kind of serious. When people talk about a brand,
Sure.
a brand of something, let's talk about the Crumley Roberts brand in terms of mission, your team, your values. How would you describe it?
Well, I think we're really, Jim, a group of diverse and I guess particularly caring folks, and we really stay true to our core values. And at Crumley Roberts, we say those are care like family, listen to learn, and do what's right. And that's not really a slogan for us. That's who we are and how
Internally and externally too.
That's right. Who we are internally, externally. We're authentic. And sometimes people say, well, you say you're authentic, but no, we really are. And because I don't know how to be anything else other than myself.
Well, let's talk about some of the tangible ways that your values translate to community service. I'm going to list a couple of things. Now, I'll mention something and then you talk about it for a second. Kids Zone and safety activities.
Well, I think that's all of them, care like family, listening to learn, having the kids do that, and we learn so much in those programs.
I've even seen you guys give away free helmets and stuff for bike safety. It's just amazing.
Absolutely.
Scholarships, you give away scholarships. That's all part of it, right?
And we're in the middle of scholarship season right now. We just awarded 6 winners.
The Roberts Center and Leadership Training, you're proud of that, I know.
We're very proud of that. And so are all of our team members at Crumley Roberts.
Jimmy, let me come to you now. I want to ask you a serious question. Before I get to that, though, you've been in some kind of national beard competition, which is the reason for the beard. You go to these beard competitions. How did you do recently?
Yes, sir. Well, I got 4th overall at the North American Beard and Mustache Great American Championships,
right.
2018 championship. 4th place, I missed 3rd by half a point.
Wow. Missed it by a hair.
Missed it by
I don't know what that means, but
a couple of hairs.
That's right. That's right. No, but that's pretty neat. And you've been to these things lots of times before. I know Chris and Matthew, his son, has been to them. Let me ask a serious question about being a personal injury attorney. What's rewarding to you about that?
Well, the biggest thing is helping others and taking care of people. We deal with a lot of downtrodden individuals that are going through the hardest, one of the most difficult times of their lives, and they may feel taken advantage of. They may be disappointed, and we're trying to lift those people up and show that we care and that we're genuine and authentic, and we try to care like they are family.
Yeah, and Chris, I know you're nodding your head yes. I was going to ask you the same question about what kind of gratification do you get out of this. I know that you're busy with administrative things and being present and everything, but you still have a lot of contact with clients. What do you get out of it?
Well, sure. I mean, it's like our brand promise. We stand up for you, and that's what we want to do. We want to stand up for folks, and we stand up for ourselves too. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to, have Jimmy on and talk about a little bit about who he was, so people can get to know us really and see, and we don't really fit into, I guess, a nice, neat package.
Right.
Okay, so I know most of the times you wouldn't think of an attorney being someone who looks like Jimmy.
Well, I don't
okay,
know.
but I will tell you that Jimmy is one of the best attorneys.
Well, thank you.
People love
I can't
Jimmy.
say
I've seen Jimmy in action. People
and
love
Jimmy has such a great heart. He lives our core values every day, and we're proud. I'm proud that he's a business partner of mine and a team member at Crumley Roberts.
Both of you are great guys. One thing I want to do is I want to get in speaking of doing community service and helping people, I want to get in a plug for the Red Effect Boutique run by Kimberly Roberts, where a lot of the proceeds go to some scholarships and helping women get back on track and fulfill their goals. That's up on screen, theredeffect.com, and also the general website, crumleyroberts.com. I'd like for you to check that out and see all the great things they're doing for the community, and in case you need them, give them a call too. To Chris and Jimmy, the Bearded Wonders, thanks for. I feel out of place. I'm going to go home and grow one, right?
Well, you should do that, and you're talking about the Red Effect. Jimmy's going to be making an appearance there at the Red Effect with the Mean Beard products.
How about that?
That he uses.
Yes,
so.
my little hobby on the side
That's
is
right.
Mean Beard.
That's right.
Definitely, that's something that's fun
But it's helping people.
Absolutely, and we're going to be there. The products will be in the store, the part of the Mean Beard line, so people can come check that out. And I'll be making an appearance there, and love to meet anybody that could come out.
Red Effect Boutique, that's in High Point. Check it out. All right, thanks, guys. We'll be right back after. On Triad Today, let's talk about prosperity, and specifically, the Prosperity Center. We do it with a good friend of ours at Triad Today, and she's back with us here. On my right, Tanika Hawkins, who's Prosperity Center Manager at the Prosperity Center for Goodwill Industries of Northwest North Carolina. Welcome, dear.
Thank you,
Good to
Jim.
see you.
So glad to be here again.
In case people haven't seen some of our discussions before, let's just sort of remind them what the Prosperity Center is, who it serves, and what it offers. Just give me sort of an overview.
So the Prosperity Center is a United Way collaborative with Goodwill and Financial Pathways of the Piedmont. We serve a lot of neighbors in our 27107 zip code area down on Walltown.
Okay.
That's our neighborhood.
That's where my people came from, Walltown. A lot of them.
Absolutely, and it's a great place. The revitalization through there is amazing, the changes that we've seen. So in addition to that, we offer, financial education. We have our lab where folks can come in and job search, and we have printers, fax machines, phones.
Anything new going on before we get to this? I'm going to ask you something else in a second, but I'm just wondering,
Sure.
anything new that you want to spring on us? Or
Well, new and old, it's the same. It's this general concept of being able to look at the people we serve to see, are we serving you best? We don't want to get behind the times in how we look at our participants and how we serve them. So are we building services around them and not just for them?
Yeah.
Things that they can take part in and feel as if they are making a difference in their lives.
let's look at the link between financial education and finding a job. And,
Right.
and I want to make sure people understand that. I mean, how does that go hand in hand from your perspective, and how you offer financial education? What's the relationship to finding a job?
So a lot of times, and I think people take this for granted, we have folks that come in and they say, you know what, I'll take any job. I will dig a ditch, I will clean a bathroom, but is that going to, we're not
Get 'em
talking
where they
about,
wanna go?
right, I'm not talking about fulfilling your purpose, but I'm talking about, is that gonna pay your bills?
Right.
Can you pay your light bill every month with the money from digging
Right.
ditches? So we look at that closely so that people can examine their resumes and the skills that they're putting forth so
You're
they
looking
can
at
get the
their whole
job they
life
want.
situation. They might say, well, Ms. Hawkins, I've got 2 children I need to support, or I'm doing this or that. I'm going to go down here and, and you say, wait a minute, let's talk about it.
Right.
What are the biggest financial challenges do you think that your participants face?
I would say, with the economy being the way it is now, is accepting part-time employment. So you have this offer, you may have to take 2 different jobs just to combine that income to make what you need, just to make ends meet. And from there, I think affordable housing, huge issue, childcare, and transportation.
You've probably already answered this, but let me just pick back up on the financial challenges part of that. Give me an example of a way that you can help somebody with those financial challenges.
Okay, so a lot of times what we'll do is we'll have our person come in, we do a general intake with them. From there, we can refer them directly to our financial counselor, which I am not.
Well, that's all right. Neither am I. but-
So, and in that plan, help them build out in their pre-budget, because it's before you even get the job.
Right.
In that pre-budget, what you'll need to make per hour so that you can meet the
Give them a
needs.
realistic anticipation of that. What kind of goals should people set for themselves, do you think, when they come to you, to the Prosperity Center? I mean, maybe they come in one way, it's not realistic, or
Sure,
what do you
of course,
say?
because it's like, I want to buy a car tomorrow. No, let's look at saving. Let's take the bus for a little while. Let's save for, just have a rainy day fund.
Yeah, it's almost like you guys are really there to try to steer people in the right direction, and I'm so glad you do that. I know you get a lot of good feedback. Before I lose time here, I want to do something up on screen. The general website for Goodwill is www.goodwillnwnc, that stands for Northwest North Carolina.org. For the radio listening audience, one more time, www.goodwillnwnc.org. Tanika Hawkins, I'm not only glad you came here, but I appreciate what you're doing for the community.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
All right,
Jim.
my friend. We'll be right back. Back now on Triad Today, just about time for the roundtable. But first, hope you will pick up your copy of Yes Weekly. They're available for free all over the Triad. I've got a column in there, and hope you'll enjoy it. And it's also online. But 3 folks are here that you don't have to go online. You can see them right here, next to me on my right, but always the political left. Ogie Overman, the great broadcaster and journalist. Next to him, the lovely, talented public speaker, author, broadcaster, face of ABC 45, Carol Andrews is here. And filling in for Keith Granberry this week, we have a celebrity guest with us. His honor, the mayor of High Point, Jay Wagner. Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Before we get to the roundtable questions, very quickly, Mayor, give us a quick update on downtown development in High Point.
Well, the Rockers had their first weekend this weekend, their inaugural weekend of their inaugural season. Great crowds out at the stadium. Should be breaking ground on our first new building in the outfield. And we're very, very excited for mainly just the change in the vibe in High Point, but
Yeah.
also what's to come.
Lots of development coming. All right, let's get with this now. Last week, Facebook banned a number of high-profile people for their hate-filled posts, including Louis Farrakhan and Alex Jones, the conspiracy theorist. Guys and gals, are you okay with that kind of ban, or is it a violation of freedom of speech? Ogie.
No, I'm okay with it. I mean, there are limits to freedom of speech, and hate speech is not protected speech, and Facebook has every right to do it, absolutely.
Carol.
I think the criteria was subjective, and that's kind of a slippery slope, so you got to be careful with that.
Jay.
Yeah, I think really only government can violate your freedom of speech. Facebook is a private entity; they can control whatever's on their platform. So.
And you, as an attorney, that's the official word. So
That is the official
we
word,
can
but
take
also,
that to the
but I
bank.
do agree with the slippery slope idea because Facebook, in a lot of ways, is taking the place of the public square, and so you have to be careful to make sure that if they're going to have rules like that, they're evenly enforced.
Right. There's a group called Hate Out of Winston, a local group. Last week they appeared before the Winston-Salem-Forsyth County School Board and said that schools need to teach a mandatory class on African American history. Do you agree with that the course is needed, or should the schools just be revamping their existing history classes to be more inclusive? Ogie.
Jim, in college I was involved in politics, and our party, the student party, I proposed a plank to our platform that formation of an African American Studies program, and eventually it happened.
As a
that
separate
was 50
program.
years ago,
But that
Jim.
was also ECU, right?
Well, still, they were a college,
right.
but
All right, Carol. Yeah.
I think you have to teach history correctly in the order it happened. And if you teach history as it is, then it is inclusive because they don't leave everything out. Right now, we've got too many kids that don't know the Civil War from the Revolutionary War
it's pitiful.
because it's not in order.
Yeah, in fact, my column in Yes Weekly this week is titled History Matters, and it's about the polls that show disturbingly what people don't know, of all ages, they just don't know. Jay?
Yeah, I think African American history is part of our history. So my feeling would be, if it's not being taught properly, to try to expand the existing history curriculum.
Kind of sad that group had to come and ask for it, isn't it?
yeah, that's the point. If I hadn't done it in 50 years,
Yeah.
do it.
Speaking of education, the California legislature just made it illegal for a principal to suspend a student for, quote, willful defiance of a teacher. Would you like to see North Carolina adopt the same policy where you can't suspend a student for willful defiance of a teacher? Ogie.
I'd need to see the guts of that law. I mean, willful defiance, if it involves physical violence, I think the principal should have the right. But if it's just questioning a point of fact from the teacher, I don't think the kid should have that right.
Yeah, maybe a kid being rude or disrespectful or something, you can't suspend them. What do you think, Carol?
Yeah, I think part of that is youth challenge authority. So I'm like Ogie, I need to see a little more to that to have an opinion.
Jay?
I'm an old military school guy, so you're not going to get a whole lot of sympathy from me for more discipline in school.
So you wouldn't have stood up to your teacher's military?
That wouldn't have ended well.
Yeah.
See, because you'd have to go home, and that's where it really wouldn't end well.
That's right. The State General Assembly here in North Carolina is considering a pilot program. It's a pilot program that would require domestic violence offenders to wear an ankle bracelet all the time so that authorities can track his movements. Good idea, or is that an invasion of privacy? Ogie.
I think if a woman or a spouse takes out a 50B against an abusive spouse and he violates it one time, put the bracelet on. Give him one shot.
One
he
shot.
violates it, on goes the bracelet.
Carol,
I don't think it should be a question.
you think it's okay to put the ankle bracelet on the domestic?
Absolutely.
Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, it is an invasion of privacy, but I think if you commit a felony, you kind of give up certain rights.
All right, meanwhile, this year's Sports Illustrated, this is going to be touchy, but I wanted to do it anyway. This year's Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition features a Somali-American woman wearing a burkini which covers up almost all of her body. And I don't mean to be crass about this, guys and gals, but when you're that politically correct or culturally correct, doesn't that defeat the purpose of the publication? I don't buy the publication, but it seems kind of weird, Ogie.
You can get it online.
Well, I don't want it online.
You know, it's almost no harm, no foul in a way. I mean, it's probably a really pretty woman.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I'm just bringing up Carol.
I saw the picture. The picture is beautiful. That is how she goes to the beach. I think we all go to the beach the way we want to go to the beach.
So it's okay?
Oh, it's fine. And it's not like she's wearing a tent.
Yeah.
You know, it's beautiful.
All right, Jay?
Well, I think it's, obviously different than what we've been used to seeing in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, and why they have a swimsuit issue, that's a whole nother topic. But it's not exactly
come on.
sport. It's not exactly sports,
No, that's
but,
right.
but ultimately, I don't really have a problem with it.
All right, finally, guys and gals, police in Michigan are asking people to come forward to return any of the $30,000 in cash they may have found, which fell off the back of a man's truck while he was driving down the highway. My question is, if $30,000 in cash blew off a truck and landed in your car, would you return the money to the police? Oh, Gilberman.
I'd like to think I would, Jim. I mean, if it was clearly a person who came forward and said, I lost this money, if anybody could help me recover it, yeah, I think I'd step
Carol,
up.
Yes.
you would return it?
Absolutely.
Jay?
Yeah, I would.
Oh, welcome to the Liars Club.
No. See,
All right,
back to the
for
other
all the-
question. We have to go home and answer to our parents.
Well, that's
see?
true. That's right. Well, that's all the time we have, and thanks for the mayor for sitting in. Oh, except for this. A Florida road crew has come under fire for misspelling the word school when they painted school crossing markers on the streets. Said an angry member of the crew, people think we're just not smart when it comes to spelling, but I'll have you know each of us has a GDE. See, they misspelled GED.
Yeah, we got that.
Got that.
Thank you, Jim.
This will be the last time for this group, and no, I'm Jim Lawrence. We'll see you next week.